So, like, if I get some books, like a set of Talmud that I don't like, can I return it to REI?
Well, I think you have to have purchased it from REI.
Do they sell Talmud?
I don't think they sell the Talmud.
Do they sell other books I might have bought?
I
What if I just switched the labels from, like, one of their jackets to my Talmud? Could I return my Talmud? Or another book that I don't use very much?
It's actually funny you bring up the Talmud, because I was going to ask you how the Talmud feels about these kind of return policies, where someone is basically on the honor code.
There wasn't an REI back in the day of the Talmud, I don't think.
But they didn't have the... Let's say I sold you, let's say, a tent.
I don't like camping.
Let's-
I have a very sensitive back, so I can't sleep on the ground.
Well, let's say your mother-in-law gave you a tent as a present, and you were like, oh, I hate camping.
Well, my mother-in-law is dead.
Let's say before she died.
She died before I met my wife.
Let's say your father-in-law gave you a tent, and
Okay.
you hate camping, so you were like, what am I going to do with this tent?
And I returned it to REI.
And you sold, well, let's say you sold it to me.
Uh-huh. And you returned it to REI?
And I used it, camping, and then my campfire got out of control, and the tent was all burned, and then I was like, took it back to you and said, Rabbi, this tent's all burned.
Are you okay?
Who
Do I
cares
need to
about
call
me?
your parents? You're okay?
Rabbi, this is a fictional scenario. I wasn't really in a fire.
Oh, thank God, Jerome. I'm glad you're okay. Glad you're okay.
I'm wondering how the Talmud would feel about returns based on the honor code. Does it speak about that anywhere?
Well, the Talmud says, I remember there's a section in the Talmud that if you borrow someone's silver plate, if it's silver, you can use it because the use of it will actually make the silver shine better and keep it in good shape. Likewise, if I'm walking through your orchard and I see some fruit fall into the ground, I can take some of that fruit. But have you seen Pulp Fiction? You know how they're using the guy's towels and they get blood on the towels? Do you remember that scene?
Yeah.
You can't do that.
You can't get
stains on things. That's an issue.
So the burned tent example, the Talmud says that's not okay.
Well, again, Jerome, I just want to clarify. You're a younger person than I, so you may not realize tents haven't been around that long. So in the Talmud, there weren't tents.
In the Torah, everyone slept in tents when they were in the desert.
With zippers? I was sort of picturing the tent with zippers and the posts.
Back in Talmudic days, they were probably made from animal skins or something.
Uh-huh. Did they have a rain fly? Because that's the worst part of camping, when you forget to put on the rain fly, or you put it on badly, and then the wind blows, and then you get wet, and you're lying on the ground without a mattress.
Well, I think it helps that they were camping in the desert. And by camping, I guess we really mean living.
So they were homeless?
Yes.
And are you suggesting that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob ordered their tents by catalog?
Back in the time of Moses, there wasn't a large enough customer base to support a company, or enough of a production base to create all the products. It was before the Industrial Revolution.
Okay.
So Land's End didn't exist, nor did REI, nor did any major company back in the time of Moses.
People still had tents.
People still had tents, but they had to basically make them themselves.
I don't even like putting up a tent myself. You had to make a tent yourself?
Or I guess get one from your father-in-law. It's
Great.
part of a dowry.
That's great. So I can see why you thought about a father-in-law giving me a tent, because he probably loves me, but he doesn't realize I hate camping.
I seriously doubt that he loves you.